Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of A Little Bit Woo. We are your hosts, Kirsty and Gemma, and today we are talking about a slightly buzzy word, but I think something that needs to be buzzed about.
I want to know what you're buzzing about.
The fact that I've got a peppermint tea to drink and I can't wait.
As long as that's all you've got, nothing buzzing.
No. Oh, for God's sake. Jesus Christ.
I love how these just start with us just laughing now.
We need to stop and be serious. We need
Serious professionals.
We need to be serious professionals.
Professionals. We're only on tea.
Herbal, obviously. Anyway, talking about the buzzword that is posture. We want to talk about posture because it's something we both think is super, super important.
Super important and really poorly understood by a lot of people and professionals.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe it's one of them that now I've got that pair of glasses on that I can see bad posture, that I can't unsee it, but then
Yeah.
I almost must think that everybody should be able to see it.
Yeah.
And maybe
get
I need
that.
to remind myself that people aren't as privileged as me and that I get to see and work with that every
Yeah,
day.
I think that's it. Because we do it every day. We're looking at horses all day long, different horses, different breeds, different environments that they're in. So our eyes have been trained in a different way to a horse owner that would be looking at their own horses or a number of horses were on the yards all day long. So like you say, once you see it, it's hard to unsee
Well,
it.
I also think with posture, because there is so much bad posture out there, I think bad posture is classed as normal. And just
Don't get
because
me
something is
started.
normal doesn't mean it's right.
Exactly.
You know, I will see Jack Russells hopping down the road and people will say, oh, that's just what Jack Russells do. No, it's not. Just because that's normal for a Jack Russell doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
You know, just because something is the majority, it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. So go on, veterinary physiotherapist.
So my take on posture is the majority of the horses I see when I first go out to meet them are really braced through the underside of the neck, so through brachiocephalicus is overdeveloped.
Yeah.
They are then dropped through the thoracic sling, so the
Yeah.
wither is then dropped down, pushing the sternum forward.
Yeah. Wonder what makes that happen.
So heads up, wither is down, sternum is forward. So if you almost
Like
think
a
of that position yourself with your own posture, this then hollows the back, and then ultimately puts the pelvis into extension. So you can, I get owners to do this themselves. So you know, push your neck backwards, push your sternum forwards, hollow your back, and push your pelvis into extension.
Yeah.
Then see how well you can walk. Like,
I call it bad banana posture.
yeah, banana. Yeah.
You want good banana, which is looking like a sad face.
Yeah.
And bad banana, which is looking like a happy face, which sounds wrong, but
yeah. And you know, I'm not
that
saying
sort of
that
vision in
every
your head.
horse should have their head on the floor for good posture. That is not good posture. The posture is
It's neutral.
the thing is with posture as well is it's forever changing. It's dynamic as posture. It's not. Yes, we do have static posture, but a posture always changes. So I always think.
But let's face it, a lot of I think dynamic posture can be static posture and dynamic posture. Horses wouldn't naturally stand statically in healthy posture.
No, but it's constant. It's a constantly
moves,
changing
yeah.
thing. So I think, you know, this big hype of. I mean, you know, I will put pictures on of horses before and after, or ones that we've done and then we've taken them a few months later. But it's almost to just kind of capture the essence of something. It's not to say this is how a horse should be stood permanently. I don't want a horse with its head you know, down below the wither all the time. They're an animal that, you know, they're a flight animal. They should be alert. They should go into what I'd call the flight posture, which is that braced posture, because
Mm.
that is a protective mechanism for a horse.
Yeah.
To be in that braced posture, it protects the base of the neck, it protects the lumbers, and
Mhm.
that's where if they were attacked by a lion or something, that's where they
Mhm.
kind of go for first. So it's a protective mechanism,
Mhm.
is the braced flight mode posture, but that's just it. Why are horses living in a protected flight mode posture all the time? Which I think it comes down to, you know, we've domesticated horses, so we're
Mhm.
making them live in an environment that's not for them. So we then have to help them to access good posture.
Yeah.
So good posture to me would be a relaxed head and neck.
Yep.
Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be down or up
No,
or anything,
it's a
just
neutral.
it's
It's comes
relaxed.
from neutral
Yeah,
spine, doesn't it?
neutral. Um, you know, movement through the thoracic sling so they can get out of the way if they need
Mhm.
to. So there needs to be that almost like push up sort of movement
Yeah.
that they can do through the wither.
Mhm.
Um, we want lift through the core, which, you know, when I did my training for my physio, that we talked about core strength all the time, but it's almost like it was isolated, but core strength isn't an isolated
No,
thing.
it isn't.
It's a whole unit. So
Mm.
there does need to be strength through the core to lift through the spine.
Yeah.
In By doing that, we then open the spinous processes up.
Mhm.
So if you don't know what a horse's back looks like the spine of a horse, they've got really long finger-like projections that we
Mhm.
sit on top of. Just
Yeah.
Google it, and it's quite fascinating. And the reason why we get kissing spine and things like that is because when the horse is in the braced banana,
Bad
upside
banana
bad
posture.
banana posture, those spinous processes come closer together. When they're in good posture
Good
and the
banana
back is
posture.
lifted in good banana posture, those spines come further apart.
Mhm.
You know, I've rehabbed horses with kissing spine
Me too.
to up and on
I did
X-ray.
that with my own
Yeah,
horse.
on X-ray, those spinous processes are further apart
So,
because the posture is then developed well.
yeah, I believe that posture starts from balancing,
Yeah.
and from the training that I've had from my time in Germany and over the silly million years that I've been in the industry. So I believe that healthy posture comes from balance,
Mhm.
and that the horse's inside hind leg should be able to stand on their center of mass, which is, you know, adjacent, is that the word? Parallel, sorry,
Mhm.
to the diaphragm. And I always say, if I'm training and working with horses, that's where, if we can navigate the horses to find balance, that's where we channel their inner yogi.
Yeah.
And that's when they can start to find their neutral posture, neutral spine,
That's the
neutral neck.
conversation I dropped in on when I took those pictures of you with Darcy.
Yeah,
Of
that
you
was
doing
it.
flying on one leg. I'm like, "What is she doing? Oh, where's my notebook? Let me tune into this conversation."
Just little golden nuggets.
The other thing, so when it comes to, like, the I'm quite into looking at where the pelvis is as well. So, like I said, if it's an extension, just it's a really good thing to be able to do yourself is, you know, stand and walk with a neutral pelvis, then put
Mhm,
your pelvis into extension, so like stick your bum out behind you
mhm,
and see how well you can move your body and
yeah,
walk or run,
mhm,
and then put it into flexion.
mhm,
So, you know, horses that are already like they're in flexion permanently,
mhm,
they'll really struggle to push from behind because
yeah,
and likewise if they're in extension.
yeah,
So I think a lot of my theory is a lot of the horses that struggle with hot stifle suspensory issues and SI issues, it's because that column of from the pelvis down through the stifle to the hock and
yeah,
down through the hind limb,
constantly under strain.
it's constantly under strain because the majority of what I see are in extension.
Mhm,
Some are in flexion, um, not many are in neutral.
yeah,
Which then to me puts uneven strain through those joints.
mhm,
So I question, you know, when we're going and injecting joints over and over again, It's the
Why?
why. Why?
Yeah,
Why are
it's
we doing
posture.
that?
Comes
Yes,
back
there
to
is
posture.
inflammation there, and yes, there are bony changes there, but should we have bony changes in hocks under the age of 10?
Mm.
Is that bad posture? And are we working in
Mhm.
bad posture?
Mhm. So one of the things that I say to clients all the time, if I'm just putting my saddle fitting hat on for a second, or at least the way I saddle fit as a holistic saddle fitter. So I always say to clients, and this is actually relevant to us as humans as well. So I always say everything we do with a horse has an effect on their posture. So that's sort of my when you first meet me for a consultation, that's what I always say, you know, and everything is interlinked. So if everything we do with a horse has an effect on their posture, in my experience, always has effect on the saddle fit and the balance of the saddle, which then goes back to balance, which then goes back to the balance point to healthy working posture. And I won't go into my thoracic plump region theory just yet. That is a pod in itself. But if everything has an effect on their posture, it what we feed the horse has an effect on their posture. How we train, which is a big one, isn't it? Massive.
Mhm.
How we train a horse has an effect on their posture. How their hoof balance, their environment, and it goes back to that, we have domesticated these animals, so we have to be mindful that everything we do with them does have an effect on their dynamic posture.
Mhm.
So if we wanna create healthy horses, to me, it's not, yes, posture first,
Mhm. But it's a holistic approach.
adjacent about, yeah, it's
It's
not, yeah, it's a holistic approach.
look at you've been finding a lot recently with the grass.
Ugh, guts and
Hindgut
saddle fitting.
issues, we're not there to diagnose because that's a vet's job, but actually, when you're seeing time after time after time, what I've been getting a lot is a lot of heat and inflammation around like the ovaries.
Well, look at Dolly.
Yeah, prime example. Yeah, ovary. I mean, it's always one side more than the other, which says to me
Mm,
that it is ovaries. But then hindgut as well.
yeah,
Everything links in,
yeah,
and then that also links into the diaphragm,
yeah,
which is my
hasn't.
biggie. Is
And where's your
so many
diaphragm?
horses are linked
Drop
into
it
diaphragm.
down inside. You want the inside hind leg to hit the diaphragm point,
Yeah,
which is what starts the horses in channeling the inner yogi.
yeah, but it also plays the most crucial role in regulation, emotional
Yeah.
regulation. And to me, all horses that I go and see that are in this braced, um, flight mode posture, they can't
Really
regulate
bad, and
themselves.
they
They're
also have
anxious.
really bad, and they can have bad gut
Yeah.
related
Yeah,
issues.
so everything just it all ties in, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So,
everything's.
the brace posture, we've then got an anxious horse, they've then
Mm,
got gut issues,
mm.
you know, and we're just in a downward spiral, bad posture, and then that's where you almost get into that thing of horses having ulcers, and then they've got kissing spines, and then they've got suspensories, and you wonder why they're all linked. Well, it's posture. It all
Yeah.
ultimately comes down to
It
posture.
does. It does indeed. And then one further balance.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think enough people consider it as holistically. Like,
Mm.
there's a mental and a somatic element to
Yeah,
that.
there is. Absolutely.
It's not just a case of, "Oh, we just go in and iron out the body and they're
Mhm.
fine." It's bringing the brain back to acknowledge like, the mental state
It goes
of
back
where
to
they
what I was
are.
saying, can't remember which episode it was, where I said about, if I go and do yoga, not that I do it enough, and my headspace is not in a good place,
Mm,
I can't balance.
mhm,
So, but when I'm in a good place, like, mentally,
mhm.
I can literally stand for hours and do the tree pose.
Yeah. But if you look around in society, if you went and stood in a park, you could just by looking at how people's posture is, you could probably tell what sort of mental state they were in, or what,
Mm,
if they're in a chronic state of something, the body's
mm,
probably in a chronic state of bad posture.
mm. And I think it's good to sort of note that, if you're looking at it from a human standpoint, for example, we and again, it is relevant to horses. We are always fighting in our own battles in terms of environmental.
Mhm.
We environment has how we sit, you know,
Yeah.
for us, for example, we drive for hours and hours and hours on
Mhm.
end in cars. I've just been on a south trip. So, and I don't even know, I don't even wanna know how many hours I clocked over those 4 days, but it was a lot. Put it
Well, one
this
day I
way,
spoke to you and you started in Kent and you were in Oxford, so
I went to Kent to Oxford to Cheshire
oh yeah,
in a day.
Kent Oxford crew, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken, where is she now? "I'm on my way home." She's like, "Wait, what? You were going over the
You
Dartford
started in
Tunnel this morning?"
yeah.
I was like, "Yep." So you can imagine how much that affects my posture
Mhm.
and then affects my mentality. I get fatigued, then that affects my posture.
Yeah.
And then interesting, yesterday I went to my Bowen therapist, for my treatment, and she said, "What do you wanna work on today?" And I said, "My right hip flex is really, really sore."
Mhm.
Just come on this little tangent with me. And I was like, so, but obviously when I'm driving, thank God for having automatics,
Mm.
but I always use obviously my right leg.
Mhm.
And then I'm sat in a car for God knows how many hours. But then I also recently did nerve damage to my right shoulder.
Mhm.
So I've obviously created a crunch pattern
Mhm.
when I've been sat in the car and then
Protecting yourself.
obviously. And then you fatigue, so then your posture sort of slumps even more.
Mhm.
And
And that becomes normal.
yeah, I mean,
You're normal.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, I think we're both quite fortunate that being body workers, we're quite aware of our own bodies as well.
Mhm.
So I was like, "This is what I'm feeling. These are the reasons why." And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. I can see, you're tight here, there, and everywhere for those reasons." So, and so I had my body work yesterday, and today I feel loosey
It's
goosey again.
interesting you say, like, about us being aware, because when I went for my session on mechanical Millie with, Emily the other week,
Now
um,
that is worth,
yeah, everybody needs a session on mechanical Millie
yeah, she's
with
brilliant,
Emily
and
because
she's
she is
saddled by
phenomenal.
LM.
Yes, she's got an LM saddle. Um, but, um, she said that I was pushing more weight through my right foot, but it's almost like I when I'm standing, she was like, "Do you when you're standing, when you're working, do you always rest that leg?"
Mm.
And when I was in the field waiting for you to, get Dolly earlier, I looked down and I was like, "Yes."
You're resting a leg.
And then I
But you know
shifted
what?
it.
That's actually really that is something really cool for us horse owners who are not necessarily looking at posture all day long like we are.
Yeah,
When you're out in the field with your horses, just observe what leg they're resting.
yeah, yeah.
Are they shifting or do they tend to stand in a certain
Did
way?
they lead with one leg?
Yeah.
Elmo, he's got, high-low going on with his front feet, but if you watch him graze, he always leads with the low one.
Yeah.
And there is research to suggest that 1 in 3 foals are born with a broken rib, which is what leads to the
Yeah.
high low.
Mhm.
So is that just a pattern that he's created from birth, potentially because he maybe have had a broken rib? But he always leads with left foot. But then it's no wonder then that with how I stand, from what I've observed, well, from what Emily
Mhm.
observed and from
Yeah.
I observe, and from how he leads his daily life leading with the left leg, that we have problems going round to the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, did I cause his posture, which I don't think I did because he's always had the high low since I had him, or has he caused mine, or is it a combination of the both? And
Mm.
actually, we could probably do with being the opposite of each other to
Yeah.
complement each other, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't work like that,
No,
does it?
no, I wish it
It's
did.
just, when I had the session with Emily, she just asked me to tune more into that right seat button. And actually, through doing a lot of work on myself, I am able to kind of connect my brain to certain parts of my body. And we kind of got that fired up straight away. And I've noticed since then, the right brain been ridden has been a lot easier because I've been
That's
able to tune in.
amazing. Amazing.
Um, but it is just about, our posture as much as the horse's posture, and how do we influence each other.
Yeah. I know there was a time when I was over in France where I did a
Any other European countries you want to drop in
she
there?
gets about a bit. um I was delivering a saddle fitting demonstration over in France, and we got on to posture and how as riders we can influence the horse's posture.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think I think you're getting to know us girls by now. I'm a bit of a truth teller, I tell it as it is. So I got looked at a little bit weird, like, oh, okay, she's basically saying that she can influence a healthy working posture without even the saddle fitting changing.
Mhm.
So I was there to do a saddle fit demo. So the idea was that I would show them a difference between its current saddle and then an LM. And I was saying about, how everything's interlinked and how, we want to desire the horse to have a healthy working posture, but we also, sorry, we can influence the horse's posture by actually correcting our own, and we're being in sync together.
Mhm.
And I got a little bit, a couple of eye rolls in the back. And they're, oh, here they go. She's one of them, is she? So we went into the arena, and a crowd of women stood there, all straight laced, straight faced, straight ready for me to cock up big time.
Yeah.
And I stood there, and I was like, please don't cock up big time, Jem. So anyway, I was like, let's not change the saddle.
Trust the process.
Yeah, let's not change the saddle. Let's change the rider. So I just got the rider sitting in neutral,
Mhm.
just breathing into her body, went through, understanding what a healthy working posture is for the rider. And I mean, I've been doing this for long enough, it just doesn't fail me. It never ceases to fail me, but it never ceases to amaze me either.
Mhm.
How, again, it's that how we do it all day, so I see it all the time, but when people don't see it,
Mm.
it's quite a shock.
Mhm.
So I changed the rider's posture, got her really feeling into her body, and the horse walked off, and its back just came right up,
Mm.
and the neck went out, it started to elongate through it into neutral, and they all just went, oh, okay. I was like, oh, thank God. So then I brought out an LM saddle, and they expected it to fail, and it even went even better because then we got encouraged a
A
healthy
horse
working
to
posture
work up
to
into
lift
the.
up into its back,
Yeah.
up into the saddle, sorry, and then we had this rider in connection,
Mhm.
so it was like a double. It was,
Double whammy.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Ooh.
she did it again.
I
Um,
think the other thing to note, though, that people get a little bit bogged down with posture, that it always has to be perfect. And as
absolutely
you know
not.
from listening to this podcast, that we don't strive for perfection. We have something that we were trying to work towards, but it's always working towards. It's never
Have you ever?
perfection.
Have you ever? Right. So there was a. I'm not going to mention names, but there was a discussion where um there's certain modalities that have quite fixed posture as riders,
Mhm.
and I don't believe in that because ev- riding is a wave of motion for
Mhm.
both horse and rider.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? I don't know. Maybe you should look it up on YouTube. Um, if you ever watch a yogi or a meditation teacher when they're sat in that, or you go, or I think there's like if you see people in India when they're sat, meditating, they'll be
Mm.
there in neutral and with a
Yeah.
lovely tall spine. But if you actually see them from the side, they're rocking from forward and backwards and side to side. They're ebbs and flowing with the
Well, it'd be like the craniosacral rhythm and things like that going through, won't it?
yes.
Yeah.
So when I think about posture, it can't be static.
No.
It has to be dynamic. Like, you think about for grounding, for example, I mean, both me and you are really about down regulating and grounding the horse, and that stems to balance, then starts
Mhm.
channeling the inner yogi and start helping the horse create a better aligned, neutral posture.
Mhm.
Have you But if you sit and observe it, and this is something I want you encourage you guys to do, observe what your horse is doing. They're rocking.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just very passively and somatically
When I get
shifting.
when I get them into that zone, there is it's
Mhm.
it's almost like a dance, isn't it? There's just that gentle kinda
It's absolutely beautiful,
to-ing and
especially when you
fro-ing.
can when you, like, one of the things I love, when I'm working on horses is doing, like, spinal rocks and stuff like
Yeah.
that, where you're watching the body just go back and
Yeah, it's
forward and
rhythm,
side
isn't
to
it?
side. Posture is rhythmical. Give me a fucking mic,
Drop the
Coots.
fucking
Oh, hang
mic.
on, I've got one. I'm not dropping him, he's too cute.
Don't drop him in your
You still have
tea.
no.
Dunk me again.
I flipping love that from Peter Kay. Are you a hobnob, Ernie?
I'm a marine of the microphone world. Don't bloody dip him. He won't work again.
Again! Maybe he's not a marine then.
Coming
Oh.
back to posture. What I was thinking when you were talking then was about like young horses, and when we were talking about the the posture's dynamic, it's not like a fixed thing. Is a horse uses the neck for balance.
Mhm.
And when a horse is young or weak or has been out of work for a long time, then they're going to need to use the neck a lot more than a horse that's a lot stronger. And,
Yeah.
you know, if a horse is in really good posture and really quite strong through its body and the core and thoracic sling and everything else, then they're not going to need to use the neck as much of a tool to kind of balance themselves. But
Mm.
with a young horse, that really needs to, the horse shouldn't just have its head down. They should be able to use the neck to be able to balance themselves, because
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to find. They're trying to find balance because that will make them feel safe within the body. Once they find balance, they'll feel safe and then they can move properly. Um, but how often do we see people just forcing people? How often do we see horses just kind of at a young age being forced into a frame or a posture and not allowed to use the neck to explore the posture? And no wonder they start to develop this kind of flight posture, the brace posture, because they're trapped, aren't they, basically? And they can't balance themselves, so they'll feel unsafe.
Mm.
So they'll go into a brace posture. And then it's a downward spiral then.
Yeah.
We get the brace posture, then we get the anxiety, then we get all the related gut issues, and oh yeah. And then I feel like my work is really to go out and start to unpick all of that and educate people on why we don't want posture like that.
I'm just, whilst we are whilst we were chatting about this, I was just had another thing that come into my head that, we need to chat about on the pod, which will be a podcast in itself, about actual proprioception and posture,
Oh yeah.
because that is also, I mean, I'm a massive believer in training a horse through proprioception.
Mhm.
So proprioception is, sensory motor coordination. So how we horses included see ourselves in time and space.
Our awareness of time and space.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where you putting your feet.
exactly. And then that then stems to posture. So we won't go into that because we would be here for another 45 minutes. And that I mean, when it comes to proprioception, like that's my geek. Like, I love that shit.
I love it when you geek out on things.
I get
I
all
just see you get all like a little fire in your belly. And I'm like, you go, girl.
Preach it! Oh, no, we don't preach over here.
We don't preach.
Ain't no preaching round here, loves. We're just opening up a channel.
Yeah, we're just here to educate and have a discussion about things, aren't we? We don't want to preach anything. We're just trying to help
Yeah.
help
But
people
do you know
see
what,
through
right?
different lenses.
This
What
is
we're
my
trying to do.
theory, right? Having a 30-year-old horse.
I thought you meant me.
Oh, I've got you too, babes, but you're a bit older than 30. You're in your 30s. I'm talking about my boy,
Okay,
Carl.
Cal.
She's getting offended now. I can see the face like, where are you going with this then, cheeky bitch? You know I love you. So Carl is 30, right? Apple of my eye. So I have always been pedantic about his back health.
Mhm.
And my theory is keep your back healthy, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
So, and that
It's the
comes,
connection between the front and back, isn't it?
well, yeah, literally.
Mm.
But that stems from posture.
Yeah.
And I were, again, not going on the my thoracic plump region theory. We'll do that another pod.
Mhm.
But that stems back to that. So, which then goes to balance, which then goes back round to posture
Mhm.
and balancing. We don't use balance
Balancing.
now, it's balancing. But then I look at the 90-year-old yogis in India that are still doing yoga
Mm.
because they're working on their posture, therefore they're working on their back health.
Yeah.
So keep your back healthy, you're halfway
Well,
there.
it's the same with humans, isn't it? How
Exactly.
many people complain of bad backs? Well, I was the same. I used to
You
always
wanna
have a
see the
bad
way
back.
I'm sat right now? I'm completely wonky. It's look after my back and I'm trying to straighten up my back. But this is it.
Yeah,
No one's perfect.
I
We're
used to have a
always
bad back, but I've done so much work on myself as in like physical therapy as well. Um but also, mental things and everything. Like I've
yeah,
holistically worked on myself and I'm probably in the best posture I've ever been in.
yeah, yeah,
I'm more aware of my
yeah,
body. But it is a
yeah.
balance, some days I'll have a bad back.
Yeah,
I'm only
but then
human.
yeah, but it goes back to what we were saying about you know, we go out, we'll wear high heel shoes.
Oh no, I'm past that.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Give
We
me
used
give
to
me a
wear
pair
high
of
heel
Converse any
shoes,
day.
yeah.
I mean, I live my life in barefoot shoes,
Yeah,
so
true.
even just
Or
putting a normal
you
shoe
know
on's
what,
a bit,
just we're just being real. We live a life that isn't perfect.
we eat
But
cake.
oh, love cake. We like cake.
We like cake. Do you want to send us a cake? No, don't. I've got to do the Great
No,
North Run in September.
no. I've got to get in a bridesmaid dress in a week's time.
Yeah, but it's, well, again, balancing into.
Yeah, we're not perfect, but it goes back to, I think, when if we if we're looking at it from a horse's perspective, that if but to get a healthy posture, you should it's not just that. It's looking at it completely holistically, and it's piecing together all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that everything has an effect on the posture.
Yeah, I
But
love.
posture should be, to me, posture first.
Yeah, I like the saying that posture's like a fart. If it's forced, then it's probably shit.
Do you know what? No, I've not heard that before.
Well, you have now.
Well, I think I might have to. Well done. Who said that? Where
I've
did you
shared it a
find that?
few times. I love it. Because I just think it's so true.
Posture's like a fart.
If it's forced, it's probably shit.
That is, yeah, yeah. I think we might have to end it on that one. So bye. Yeah, it's true. So true.
Yeah.
So be mindful of your horse's posture,
And your
people.
own posture.
Yes.
And just we're very privileged that we get to work in this world of posture and everything every day.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is just open your mind to it and
Mhm.
just look around, just how many horses are out there. And
Yeah.
what
Observe
I
your
tend to
own.
find with clients is they know what they're seeing, but they don't know. So they can tell me what they're seeing, but they don't realize what they're seeing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So they can say, "Oh, well, he looks really anxious," or "He looks this," or "He looks that," and it's like, yes, so you know,
Mm.
does it look healthy? Does it look comfortable?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then you're probably right.
Yeah. Mhm.
If the horse looks comfortable and they're soft in the face and they look, happy in inverted commas, like, you know, then yeah, they probably are. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a professional to be able to spot
No.
bad posture.
No.
Is
Just
what I'm trying to
observe your
say.
own horses.
You just have to observe. And
Yeah.
like I say, just because a lot of posture is normal doesn't mean it's right.
Mm. Yeah. Good chat.
Good chat.
I like this one. Well, I hope that's given you all food for thought and gets you thinking. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Drop us a comment. We're always here to answer any questions. And what I love is the fact that our little bit woo pod is it's a broad spectrum of topics that we want to cover because we can, and to be able to dive into topics that are more in our sort of work related realm, so to speak, and then in our development realm, I think is really good because it gives quite a dynamic, you know,
Yeah, it's just yeah. We're just all rounders.
we're- if we were horses, we'd be a Connemara,
Yeah.
a good all rounder.
Well, I was somewhere and the task was to describe yourself as a breed of horse, and I did describe myself as Connemara because I said I'm a well-rounded person but prone to getting a little bit chubby.
Yeah, I would probably say I'm a bit more. I wouldn't say I'm Welsh, but
No, you're not Welsh.
I'm a Connie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I get a bit chubby. I'm a bit chubby.
We're
I'm
both.
not fat. I'm fluffy.
I thought you were going to say show condition.
I'm in show condition. Get me to boys. Oops, other shows are available. Don't come after me, anyone, for saying that. Oopsie.
Are you going to round this up then, Jim?
Yep. So, thank you so much, as always, for listening to the pod. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, send it to a friend. We're trying to grow the community.
And review.
Yes, do us a rewoo. That would be really, really kind. And we will see you all next Tuesday for a little bit more woo.